In this video, I'm going to talk about setting up a template from an HTML file for your website. The website I'm using in this doesn't have another framework like Bootstrap. It's just HTML and CSS. So you can see my site definition here. I've got my images folder, I have some external CSS files, and I have my index page open here. So I've tested this index page and it is ready to become a template, and then I can apply it to my home page and go from there. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to close this page and I'm going to rename this file. I usually call this something like working index or something like that. And that lets me know that that is my original file that I worked with, has the live HTML in it and no templates. So I'm going to open that file up now with its new name. So I'm going to make sure that I'm clicked down here somewhere inside the body tag. And then I'm going to do File, Save as Template. If you have clicked somewhere else in your document, usually further up before the body section, sometimes this option's grayed out. So if that's the case, just make sure that you click somewhere down in the body and you'll be all right. So File, Save as Template. And I'm going to call this Cheese Site Template. So the description is just for you, so name it a name that will work for you. On a large site, keep in mind you might have multiple templates. On small sites, maybe even if you only have one, name it well. And the save as is actually going to be the file name. So if I'm only going to have one template, I'll usually just call this main, and then I will click save, and it will save it in the site. If you get an update links option, click yes. So even though we did update links, notice that it looks like all of my images and CSS have become disconnected. So I'm going to close this page quick. If you get this, that's okay for now, so I'm just going to click OK. Now notice that Dreamweaver has added a templates folder. So templates is a feature of Dreamweaver. You can't do this in something like brackets. It's part of the fact that Dreamweaver manages your whole site and not just your files. So I'm going to open my template again, and notice that all the links have been fixed. So nothing actually changed in the code. I think this is just a Dreamweaver bug that happens sometimes. If you had clicked no on the update links, you would have broken those links and your file would look the way it looked before I closed and reopened this file. So notice this is a DWT file. DWT file should be the only things in your template. So right now, if we were to make a page off of this, there wouldn't be much that's actually editable. So by default, it adds a region around the title, because each page should have a fitting title to it. If we scroll down a bit, it always adds an editable region in the head. And that is it for editable regions. So we need to find the part that we want to change. So I want my header and my navigation to definitely be locked in the template. I don't want to be accidentally messing that stuff up. So here between the nav and where my content starts, I'm going to press return just so I have a space in there and I can easily find it. And then I'm going to come down to right before my footer. So I'm going to hold shift and click here on line 51. And then I'm going to scroll back up and make sure that I've selected all of that content. So now that I've made that selection, I can go to Insert, Template, Editable Region. So what this will do is ask us to name it. I usually just call it content if it's something that's an entire area like this. What this does is insert another template begin editable line, and there's the name that we gave it. And then at the bottom, we'll see template end editable. And both of them have these marks on either side. which is an HTML format for a comment. This is extra code, but it's really just commented lines and part of how Dreamweaver works to make our templates. So I've got my editable regions here, so I have 3. I have the title, area in the head, and our content region that we created. So this is ready to go now as a nice simple template, so I'm going to save this, close it, and then I can do File, New. In this window, I'm going to go to Site Templates, make sure I'm in the site that I want, and there's my main template. Always make sure this box is checked. We always want to update this page when our template changes. That's the point of having a template. It's like a master page. So if we update our header, nav, or footer, it will update on all pages at once without having to make individual changes. So now we've got our untitled file here. So the first thing I'm going to do is a file save as, and this will become my index page. So this is going to be my home page. It needs to be out in my home or root or site folder. So I'm not going to put it inside another folder. I'll click Save. And now we can see that all this code is gray and I can't edit it. So that's because it's locked by the template. Can't accidentally mess it up. That's awesome. So I can edit my title here and add home to it because this is my home page. Down in my content area, you can see the code is live and editable, and then it goes locked again for my footer. Next page I'm going to make is a members page. So I'm going to make sure I save this page and close it. And I'm going to do File, New. Again, Site Templates, site I'm in, main template, update it, create. So I'm going to do a save as soon as this page comes up. So in my site here, I'm going to make a new folder called Members. And I'm going to name this file index.html again, but I'm going to put it in the Members folder. So I discussed in other videos how this file structure relates to the URL on your actual live website when it's hosted. So this means that I could go to britishcheeseboard.co.uk/members and I would see this page is the members homepage. That gives me a nice short URL that's easier to market and share than something like britishcheeseboard.co.uk/members/members.html, for example. So I will click OK there. Can change that document title. And I can change this content here, and I can spell things correctly. So I can make all my changes here. So sometimes this editable area in the head tries to pretend like it's not editable, but you notice that you can go in here and you can put a style tag, for example. So if you have a hero image on every page that changes, that's up in your header, absolutely keep that header in your template, but in the style, you can target that. Let's just pretend that I've named it hero. And then you can go ahead and do your background image and put in the image specific to that page. So do definitely keep those hero images in your template. So I will save that page. So this is the process you would use to make the rest of your pages. Take out the content, edit it, build the different layouts you have for your content areas, change things like those hero image backgrounds. So let's say that you are ready to link all those pages together. You would go back to your template, same process as if you notice a spelling error, or we're going to add a page or a link or fix anything else. So I'm going to go down to my main links here. So I'm going to change this link. I'm going to use my properties panel here and drag a fun stretchy arrow out to my home page. That's the index page. And for my members, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to highlight that placeholder hashtag, click on the target, drag out to my members folder. It will pop open, and I'll point right to that index file. For a link like this, I could also just point to that folder or directory, and that link would work as well. So let's say I update all these links, got my pages going. I'm going to save this template file, and notice that nothing happened. So what should happen is that I get a little pop-up window saying, hey, do you want me to update all the pages that are linked to this template? And I'll say, yes, do your job. So that didn't work, which tells me that I need to go to my site menu, advanced, and recreate my site cache. So that takes just a second. So just go ahead and make some little change to this that's not going to affect the design. So I might like put a space here, and I'll do a file save, and on a Mac that's Command S. Now I get the proper window. Do I want to update all these files? Yes, that's the whole point of doing templates. Thank you. So files examined 2, files updated 2, files cannot be updated 0. Perfect. This site cache thing seems to be sort of a bug in Dreamweaver, and you may have to update it every now and then, just to make sure that every time you save that template, you get that window. If you don't get the window, add a space somewhere, especially in an editable region where it really doesn't matter. Do that site, advanced, recreate site cache, save that file again, and hopefully it should update everything linked to that template. So that's a quick rundown of using templates, which is one of the best features of Dreamweaver that assists with our site management and efficient editing and updating of several web pages at once.